I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. Today, we're going to talk about one of the character traits of the narcissist that really defines them. This is something, an action, a behavior, very exclusive to malignant, um, covert narcissists. So, if this is happening to you, there is absolutely no doubt that you are a victim of narcissistic abuse, because there is no other cluster within the human population, no other cluster of people that does this. This is very exclusive to them, and it's called the final discard. Thanks for joining us at Kim Wilson TV today. The narcissist is a complete slave to their repetitive behavior. Now, when they're looking for supply and finding new supply, there's always going to be a four-step stage to this. Idealization, which is that bizarre love bombing thing at the beginning, and then devaluing, because now they've got to weaken you emotionally to try and keep you trapped there as supply. And then the dumping stage begins, and then the discard, and it just keeps looping. Now, if you've been with a narc for a while, this has looped over and over and over again within your relationship. And if you were smart enough to get away after the first discard, they would have just keep looping that and looping that with someone new. That is their MO. It's extremely exclusive to covert narcissists, and it is extremely prevalent. Victims will often ask, how do you know if this is the final discard? Now, in my situation, I am huge supply for my narc. He's never had such good supply. His entire narc harem rolled together doesn't compare to the narcissistic supply that I provided him. And, you know, the well-groomed flying monkey that I was. And, you know, I understood his illness, and I really accommodated that. So for me, knowing when the final discard was when I just absolutely was not going back and had completely decided I was moving on and never going back to this crap again. So I was the one who said this is absolutely the final discard. Despite the fact that I had been the one that absolutely had decided this was simply not for me, the love had worn off, my desire to please him had worn off, the brainwashing was worn off. His mask had slipped so far that I could see exactly who and what he was, and there was not a hope in hell I was going to spend one more minute with this horrible person. But if your narc is inflicting the final discard on you, and though I'm done, he's still inflicting the final discard on me, which, you know, typically looks like really weird, sort of sporadic communication, making it difficult for you to communicate with him. Now, I had been living with him in his house of pain, so I still had things to get out of the house. I had things in storage, and this is now the thing that he's using for communication. When are you getting your stuff? But when I try to reply, of course, you know, he makes communication very difficult. Just, you know, more of that perpetuating game. Now, I sent him a quick email the other day, you know, saying when I was going to come for my stuff. Now, he doesn't reply to me. So I'm wondering, you know, is this time, day, place okay? So I wait a few days and I send him a text message. Well, the text message just said, you know, did you get my email? So I don't hear back from him. Instead of just saying yes, you know, which would have been very simple, a little 3-letter word yes, he types, sorry, I can't talk right now. I mean, just part of the game. Like, if he had time to type, I can't talk right now, why didn't he just type yes or no? Now, as the final discard was nearing, I could see, of course, that he was withdrawing and pulling back, and of course, I knew that he was desperately drudging up, you know, new supply, because clearly I was out of there. I had really pulled back emotionally quite a bit. In fact, he had committed one act of indecency against me that almost in that split second, the realization had kind of fractured my love for him. I had actually instantly, in a split second, fallen out of love with him. So it was just a matter of time, developing an exit strategy and finally executing that exit strategy. I'm very lucky because I have in Canada's heartland, and it had been my intention to return to my old home, and I'm so glad I did that. Now, at the time, of course, when he committed this final act of indecency against me, I was pretty hurt. I was actually in a state of total mind fuckery, trying to figure out, epic mind fuckery, what the hell. But now, it's many, many, many months later. I mean, we'll be rolling up on a year soon. I am so happy to be out of there. I mean, just so many wonderful new people in my life and so many wonderful new opportunities for me. And I'm in my beautiful, funky, hippie house, and I'm just absolutely... So the final discard is only going to be painful for you if you let it. I mean, it's actually a wonderful opportunity to get free. Now, what the final discard looks like exactly is pretty bizarre. Now, in my case, for example, I had been with my narc for 5 years. We slept together, we showered together, we ate dinner together. We were a couple, we worked together very frequently. And the discard looks like this. You go from 1 minute to being their constant partner, confidant, friend, lover, everything, to chop. That's it. You no longer exist. Absolutely no longer exist. It's as if you were just instantly cut, and that's all. That's all there is to it. You're gone. Now, I know a lot of people feel very sad to think that they can be discarded that way. And I know I was replaced immediately, but I guess my thoughts on this are, I don't care who is waking up beside that horrible, horrible human being, as long as it's not, I don't want it to be me. Now, even though you may be feeling you're at the stage of final discard, you have to keep in mind that your narc's state of desperation to continue his narc harem and keep constant supply in the narc harem is very likely he's going to get in touch with you in little ways like you've probably not heard from this creep for the last time, because they're now going to test the waters and see if you're from primary supply to, now part of the narc harem. Not in my case. I'm not playing that game.